Pisces. Happy Friday, you guys. I was wondering what was going on with me before I did the reading, because you guys know I had a very significant relationship with a Pisces well, I still know them and they're still significant in my life, but it's not the same. But the relationship lasted for like 10 plus years. It was almost like a marriage. That's what it felt like. So, I'm familiar with that energy, and my sun, in terms of my natal chart, is in my 12th house, which has something to do with, why I'm here today with you. And also my moon, which, the moon has a very significant relationship to Pisces. My moon is in Cancer, so that's a fellow water sign of Pisces, so it trines your energy, which is wonderful. Now, I will say that if you would like to get a reading from me, email providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram as NYC Kendrick, Kendrick NYC, Providence Tarot, of course, and the Tongue Pop if you like food, okay? I read at Shanti Bookshop and Crystal Gallery at 230 East 14th Street, between 2nd and 3rd Avenues in Union Square, East Village area near NYU, on Sundays between 12 and 4, and sometimes 5. I extend my day sometimes there. I will leave information in the description box if you would like to donate to the channel. I'm working on getting that donation button up for you guys. So let's jump right into the reading. Pisces. I have 4 cards, or I've chosen 4 oracle decks, 3 oracle decks, 1 tarot deck that sort of feels like an oracle deck from the Archangel Power Tarot, and I'm going to be using the Morgan Greer Tarot deck for you today, okay? What day is it? Friday today. So some of y'all are at work. I've already shuffled the cards, I've cut them, and I'm ready to lay them out. So the reading starts probably around 3 minutes. I'm just saying that now if y'all looking. You guys like to fast forward through, but the reader is the reason why you're here, and so are the messages, and there are messages that come to you before we actually pull the reading. So, you might want to listen to those. Just saying. And I'm not speaking on just my behalf. I'm talking about all the readers. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice card. The Justice card is representative of Libra energy. So some of you Pisces might be feeling like a Libra right now, with Venus being exalted in your sign of Pisces, right? Mercury is there as well, which has a relationship to Venus. So Mercury being debilitated in Pisces, Venus, who rules the Justice card, who rules Libra, is bringing in a sense of peace that's softening the blow to maybe like the reveal that's coming from your subconscious self, that is, communicating with you, through your subconscious, and allowing you to understand ways that, you might want to bring more balance into your life, ways of being fair to you and also your circumstances, right? Because justice is very circumstantial, and, there are always circumstances surrounding the energy of Libra, you know what I mean? Because those scales are very sensitive. Maybe you are feeling sensitive now, maybe your scales are feeling sensitive. There's a sense of balance or imbalance to Pisces energy as well, right? You're mutable, but there's duality there because it's going against, the current, I guess. So it's kind of like doing this type of thing. So there's always this energy of like wanting to move, wanting to shift, wanting something to change. And this Justice card really does give you that energy of saying, okay, now we have a growing awareness, right, of what it's going to take for us to identify, right, with who we are as our person, our individual selves, and who we are now with all the other people that we identify with who are symbolic in our lives, right? Because we've had these full moons in Libra, right? And in between that energy, right, bookmark or bookending that, sandwiching that, we have Venus, the ruler of these full moons, being in Pisces, a sign that she does very well in. Okay, she loves being there. So yeah, you guys are just thinking about being fair in a situation, how you're going to bring a little bit more ease and flow, right? Because that's what we need right now from you, Pisces, is ease and flow. How can we bring more ease and flow into your situations? Some of you guys might be dealing with some legal situations, right? Excuse me. And you might just be trying to solve some conflict, right? And a solution involving a legal situation. If some of you are parents, you might be thinking about, child support perhaps, that whole thing. And it does have to do with understanding what your options are and where the opposition lies in your life and in your experience right now. Dealing with the circumstances. So let me go ahead and flip over the first card that is, the center energy of your reading. It's talking about the present energy. You got the Six of Wands. We are. Wow, that was so strange. Yeah, I'm going to work after this, so my alarm came on. Anyway, that's so weird that the alarm came on when the Six of Wands popped up. This is Jupiter in Leo, and this is ruled by the Lovers. So you guys might be having something expand in terms of like love or a show of love, encouragement, and compassion. There's some enthusiasm here in terms of like trying to communicate love, trying to express that through like your heart and through in creative ways, right? Because sometimes communication isn't just with words, it's with actions, it's with little nudges, little pushes, little finger nudging, that type of thing. This is also you showing the people around you how you appreciate them, and this could be other people showing you that as well. That's going to bring more harmony, and that's going to bring, more peaceful intentions to a commitment that you are. Sorry, you guys. Okay, we're back. I know that there's always a delay when that happens, so now I'm on. Okay. So the sixes that's dealing with the Lover's energy. It's talking about communications, and it's talking about successful communications. It's understanding that you have to communicate in different ways, right? It's Jupiter, so that's mutable energy, right, in Sagittarius or in Pisces, which is, you're ruled by Jupiter, okay? And Jupiter is in Sagittarius right now, and that trines the Leo energy. So you guys could be dealing with a Leo. You could be dealing with a Gemini, that energy. You could also be dealing with someone who has the Virgo tendencies, or it could also be, just this has to do with the everyday and routine. How can you yourself stay encouraged? I'm so sorry that the video is acting so crazy. We might have to do it over. If we do have to do it over, I'll just, stop the reading and leave this video and re-record later and do that. But right now, we're going to keep the flow. So, it's talking about implementing those ways of adapting, right? Expanding on your awareness and your consciousness on how you can make positive changes that would reinforce encouragement, right? And stay disciplined in your intention in doing that, and let it come from an authentic place, right? Because this is a very noble card. So this has to do with your own like dignity and your own sense of like nobility, and how you can honor a situation that you are involved in, right? And honoring it for all of the things that are involved within that, not just what you may want out of it. Maybe you need to communicate what you want. Because sometimes it's difficult for you to communicate what you want, especially the planet of communication being debilitated in your sign. So it's like you might be feeling a lot of things and you're thinking things, but you may not be expressing those. We don't have any water cards here. So it's talking about what you're thinking, okay, with this justice card and what you're focused on. You're focused on cause and effect. You're focused on options. You're focused on actions and reactions, call and response, how you respond to other people, how other people react to you. What are your sensitivity levels, right? Because Libra is a very sensitive sign. That's why she is exalted in Pisces, the most sensitive sign. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's talk about what your challenges are in terms of that. King of Cups. So this is fixed water energy. It's very Scorpio. So there could be something here that's challenging you to release and let go of fears. And it also could have something to do with a male person, definitely, who is challenging your emotional process. Because the Justice card is talking about coming to a resolution after a process, understanding the process, understanding the circumstances within that process, and also trying to initiate new levels of understanding in a relationship with someone that might be a water sign. That's you. This is probably you being challenged by your own emotions, because the King of Cups has been challenged by his own emotions, being Scorpio. You know what I mean? But this is you, obviously. This is your reading. You're challenged by yourself. And then you have Jupiter and Leo being right there in the center of the reading. So you guys could be dealing with someone who, you know, Venus is very much prevalent here. They might have Venus in Pisces. They might have Venus in Leo. They might have Venus in Libra, you know, because this is for a lot of people. So I'm just giving you what is really here in my face and what I'm getting, okay? So yeah, the King of Cups, you know, that's air and that's water. It's trying to like really marry the concepts of philosophy and thought processes and also beliefs into you know, your feelings. How can you bring those two things together? Hi, I didn't even see that message. I'm sorry. Thank you for liking the video. How can you marry, you know, the mind and the subconscious to bring a successful outcome or successful scenarios into your situations, right? That are involving your relationships, also business too. You know what I mean? Because some of you could be just being challenged on how successful you will be in, you know, your business. Because, you know, the Justice card, the scales, that's talking about merchants, right? And going around and achieving a sense of balance through give and take. Okay? So this is give and take. I'm getting that. I'm also getting that some of you might be being very stubborn in your emotions, and that's the challenge. You know what I mean? Like if you would let go of the ways that you are being fixed in your emotions, that you're not willing to see how some of those ways that you are fixed in your emotions may not be working for you anymore. And that's the challenge, because the King of Cups is a mature court card. And this mature court card knows what he feels. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the mind and the subconscious. I know what I'm feeling, but if you're not able to express that, right? The sun being ruling Libra, and this being a Mercury ruled card, you know, being a 6. If you're not able to express what you're feeling, then you're always going to have a sense of imbalance and wanting to achieve balance, right? And then it's like your relationships will also be a little bit askewed always, because you're not able to express those things that you need to do outwardly, because this is outward expression, right? It's energetic, it's intensive, right? It has intention. It has, there's thing consistently within your routine, and you can stay encouraged and motivated to always come to these little pockets of, it's like cyclical. Things are cyclical. The ways that you do things, you have to always be able to roll that over, and that's going to help you process, because the 6s have to do with processing things. So does the Justice card, right? And it's achieving a sense of success after the process, right? And that's what I'm talking about. That's what's cyclical, right? So every time you achieve a little bit of success after undergoing a process, right, that you can feel good about, then that's going to carry you into the next phase. then that's going to carry you into the next stage. So then you're constantly having these look at little pockets of transformation that are happening. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm actually dealing with my emotions. And then you're going to be coming to this place of, emotional maturity because it's on another level. It's not like you weren't maturing your emotions before. You knew what you were feeling. You just weren't expressing them. So that's really what this expansion is talking about, and getting to that place of really feeling like you are expanding your will, and you are using your creative expression, and you are using your ways of verbiage to express in action. So it might be, practicing what you preach, right? Doing what you say you're going to do, or really believing in what you feel so much that you have the confidence to express it. Okay? All right, Pisces. Let's look at your sun. The Fool, Uranus. Some people say it's Aries energy, right? This is really great because it's saying that you're at a moment of zero. Okay, exoterically, Libra is here. Esoterically, Libra is here because Uranus rules Libra esoterically. Exoterically, it's Venus. Okay, so this is talking about surprises. It's talking about faith. It's being open to receive moments of divine inspiration that are going to allow you to, expand your sense of faith. It's almost like you didn't even know that you were limitless, right? You may have been limiting yourself, but now you realize that you are limitless, right? Pisces, gang. Okay, you better work February 29th. But yeah, the Fool is God energy. Uranus is talking about stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? And that's what the King of Cups sometimes has an issue with, stepping outside of its comfort zone, right? Through that outward expression. And this is you traveling outwardly and really being enthusiastic about life again, right? Because this is a starting over. The zero is a recalibration to balance. That's why Uranus rules Libra, you know what I mean, esoterically. Because when you achieve that sense of balance on the scale, it goes to zero. Think about your filters on Instagram. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's another reason a way to look at it. So this is you being hopeful. This is you understanding that there's always new possibilities that are going to meet you. And it's how you meet those opportunities and how you meet those, those risks as well. Understanding that there's always going to be risks involved in opportunities and vice versa, right? Let's look at the moon position. Page of Rods. Okay, so this is almost kind of like the Fool has gotten to this place where he has a sense of purpose now, but there's it's in the emotions, right? It's in the feel. You're enthusiastic. You're kind of hopeful, right? That's why this card relates to this card. So I feel like this is the sun, right? Obviously, this is the sun in this reading, and this is the moon, okay? And they are actually this way. This is how they look in the reading. But I'm holding them up this way because that's how I picked them up off the table. But this is almost like the Fool has actually found a sense of purpose again, and is enthusiastic about that purpose and wants to see where that purpose and that intention will now take them. Because this is learning, and this is learning new ways of doing things, and this is also expansion in a way, because when you learn, you grow. And that is expansion. Expansion is growth, and growth is expansion, obviously, right? So now, what do we do when we get to this place of our emotions being attached to our new sense of what our expansion is going to be or how we want to grow, right? In terms of you have to kind of be very actively involved in this new expansion, but it's being actively involved with your emotions. Because this is a phase of your life that is turning over or that is changing. And you went into it very enthusiastically, and you're there. You're still very enthusiastic about life, but it's like you have to also be enthusiastic about, wondering what it is that's going on in your subconscious. Where are these emotions coming from, right? Being actively involved with processing them, because the pages are ruled by Saturn. Saturn is talking about processes that bring results that are lasting. So you need to be, aware and passionate about achieving these levels of completion, right, and expansion and growth that are going to allow you to, feel like you are maturing. Sorry, I almost lost myself there. But the pages really do talk about, processes and getting somewhere. Right? So you dealing with your emotional process is going to help you get somewhere, or maybe a new opportunity will come around for you during this full moon, this next full moon. See, because Venus is still going to be in Pisces, I believe, and being that she's the ruler of this full moon that's coming up next Friday, a week from today, there might be something that happens that initiates for you, or maybe there's a new start somewhere. Yeah. So let's look at the past position. The Hierophant. You committed to something in the past, right? Maybe there's a past commitment that you're really thinking. It's a 5, the Hierophant, so it has to do with going with the ups and the downs in life, right? Understanding there are things that are going to be out of your control. There were things that were out of your control in the past. Maybe there were things that were out of your bounds in the past. This is also talking about unlocking a sense of understanding of like what your purpose is and what you were meant to experience here on Earth, right? Or just in your life, right? In your level of consciousness that you experience every day for you, okay? It is the status quo. So some of you may have, felt like you wanted to express that sort of lifestyle in the past, the status quo, or maybe you have desire, right? Because the 5s do have to do with the level of desire and will and creation, right? Because the Hierophant is talking about religion and institution, and out of those religions and those institutions, you're creating a sense of living, a sense of being. You know what I mean? Your understanding for your purpose in life. That's what, institutions sort of like show us, because we have to go into an institution with a sense of purpose. So this is kind of you understanding through your will what your purpose is, right? Or vice versa. Okay? So this is what you were dealing with in the past, and here's the moon again in the Hierophant, because the moon is exalted in Taurus, okay? And Taurus is, what house is that from you? Taurus is your 3rd house of communication, okay? Especially if you are a Pisces rising, okay? If you are a Pisces sun, see where your 5th house is, or see where your 2nd house is, both of those, okay? And that has to do with something in your past and the status quo. You understanding that there is no status quo, right? You create your own status quo, right? Because if you lived your life based on everyone else's principles, then you would drive yourself crazy trying to be everything for everyone else. Okay, so let me flip over your anxiety, your will, which is your Mars, and your advice, which is your Venus. Okay. So in terms of your anxieties, it's funny because the pages are ruled by Saturn, so it's talking about graduating through a process, okay, and experiencing a sense of achievement, right? And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to achieve something. And so is the 7 of Pentacles being Saturn and Taurus. I just talked about Taurus, and this is a 7. So it's, 7th house energy, which is Libra, right? Which you have the Justice card here. So it really is talking about relationships. It really is talking about achieving balance, pleasure, harmony, being fair in a situation. You might be feeling like the situation might be unfair right now, right? And it's almost kind of like this is asking you to just let time do its work because you've invested already in this experience, right? Um, and you're just going to relate to it how you relate to it. So it's kind of like understanding what you're meant to learn out of the experience and how it relates to you and how you relate to it and to others within, the circumstances and how they might be involved in with your feelings and how you feel about the struggle and the effort that it might be taking for you to see something produce or be more productive. This could be you guys trying to see your way through an investment that you've made. It could be trying to see your way through investing in a relationship that you are committed to. This could have to do with you trying to fix some karma that involves a relationship. Also, this could have to do with a cancer that you might be dealing with because, the chariot rules the sevens. This is also talking about achieving victory. Like I said, it's graduating and getting to that place of achievement with Saturn, right? Also, this is July, so there might be something related to July for you being the seventh month, or it could be something having to do with, something around the springtime for you, because it's like Gemini is your third house, okay? And that's talking about communications, and your third house is Taurus, right? This is Taurus. This is karma, Saturn and Taurus. And then also, May, that's Taurus season, so we're thinking about May. That's also Gemini season, so I'm getting something with May. This is also the Hierophant. I don't know, something significant about May. Maybe your relationship will turn over for you in May, or maybe you will see what something is going to grow into around that time or towards the end of May or June, okay? Whatever that means for some of you guys. And in the wheel, the King of Pentacles is you wanting to really, you wanting to show someone that you are reliable. You want to show someone that you have a new sense of maturity possibly, or a new way of standing firmly in your belief systems or your principles, your concepts of how you're going to achieve stability for yourself, right? And that's your Mars. That's talking about what you're going to do to achieve this new stability. And this is Taurus. It's fixed earth. So you also have fixed water here. This is opposing energy. I was just talking about Taurus being your third house of communications. And so if Taurus is your third house of communication, then your ninth house, of expansion and philosophies, that would be Scorpio. So this, this is, you got some Scorpio energy, you got some Taurus energy going on. So what are you transforming from? You know what I mean? You're transforming, and then you're also building something. So you might be building a new foundation through this transformation, or you might be laying a new foundation for a transformation that you feel like you want to have, experience, or initiate, because Mars is talking about initiating something. You know what I mean? The Mars position in this reading, what you're going to do, how you're going to assert yourself. This is like showing someone that they can believe in you, or they can count on you, or they can trust you. This is you trying to be really solid. Really, right? It's talking about security as well. You're trying to just feel more secure, be more secure. You're trying to build something, grow something. You're invested in something. I don't know. Some of y'all need more flavor in life or something. Anyway, the Venus position is the Knight of Swords. This is a mutable air. And this is a core card. It's fire and it's air. So the Venus position here has Gemini, right? And that's who rules your third house. That's Taurus. And Gemini would be what house for you? or what house? I don't know. I'm going too far. Anyway, the Knight of Swords is mutable. So this is talking about you adapting to new ways, to different ways of communicating, right? It's almost like you want to get your point across in a relationship. So maybe you need to actively initiate these situations where communication can be, something that pushes energy forward, right? Because the mutable signs are trying to, achieve something. There's a sense of fulfillment, finishing, right? Task, getting tasks done, that type of thing. So you have a responsibility to communicate in different ways in your relationships. Um, you are not. It's might be facing that's challenging, right? That has to do with the mental process. Okay, so this is also talking about forceful communication. Don't be too fiery when you communicate as well. You have to be softer sometimes in your relationships with people so that you can get your point across. Okay, because the Knight of Swords being in the Venus position, he almost doesn't want to um, challenge himself to be softer in his ways, but he has to. Okay, he has to adapt to that. Time for a celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. Okay, so this is talking about understanding where the new foundation lies. This is Venus in Aries. It's a 4, so it has to do with security, foundations. It's related to the 4th house, so it's home and family. So you could be building a new home with someone, or you could be building a new home, for yourself because it is Aries. But Venus and Aries together, that's a relationship, and it's also marriage too. So you could be, in a place of wanting marriage, right? You might be thinking about that and that as a commitment to you moving forward in your life and what that means for you. Wow, the Ace of Rods. Okay, the future card has the Five of Cups. Okay, so in the future, you guys are going to experience a reality for yourself that is going to make you look at how you have committed your feelings to something. This is a loss, right? This is an emotional loss. You might be feeling like you don't want to let go of something, or there's a desire to hold on to something that has already left to transform from this situation that might be testing you. And the Hierophant is really bookending this in the past position, and then in the future position, here we are. So this is saying really that the Hierophant is saying like this energy has already happened, and you're still there moving forward in the future. Of feeling sorry for a situation that transpired in a way that you didn't, that was less than desirable, okay? And it's kind of like you just can't see it any other way than how, you were left feeling. You need to turn around and you need to understand that there is something that is going to bring balance to this situation or bring balance to like the way that you are emotionally distraught, right? You might have to challenge yourself to do things differently. Like I said, you're graduating, you're trying to get to a different way of understanding your emotional process. Yeah, you have less than you had before, but it's also saying that you have something better than what you had before. Or maybe it's trying to show you or teach you something better than you had before. This is like spirit, life, God mentoring you. And you need to see that that's what's happening here. It has to do with pride, your dampened pride, right? You're still going to be feeling that in the future. These are also matters of your heart. You were passionate about something that you lost, right? Um, and that's okay. There's something else to look at, to appreciate moving forward. That said, you do have the Ace of Rods as your outcome and your energy moving forward. So this is potent energy of enthusiasm and inspiration, right? It's energy. and it's saying that there's a new awareness of the possibilities, right, and taking action. This is also kind of like aware that there is a point of beginning that can take you somewhere. You can expand on this opportunity that's coming in, that's being given to you by the universe, which is an ace, which is ruled by Mercury, the magician. So that's also, Gemini and Virgo energy. And if you want to think esoterically, Mercury being the ruler of Aries, you could think it's Aries too. I always think that the aces are cardinal energy. So this is initiating, pushing something forward, changing something, understanding that something has changed over, and allowing yourself to begin again. Okay? So now, at the top of the reading in the ascendant position, you have the Three of Pentacles. That's Mars and Capricorn. This is related to the Empress energy. So this is you expressing yourself by, by making something, collaborating, right? You might be collaborating with someone at work. It's a three, so Empress and third house energy, Gemini. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. It's in Pisces, your sign right now, with Venus. So this is good. This is saying that this is very productive. There's some very, trying energy here with this going on. And there's a flow. There's an ease. There's a flow that's going on with this Three of Pentacles here and you doing your work. So it's saying that, work might be going better for you or getting better for you, or there could be someone who's admiring your work, or maybe you might be changing, maybe you might be changing like the way that you're doing things, or, you may be going to a different creative zone at work, or maybe you've changed the way that you are working, right, physically. What your job may have changed. You may have initiated a job change, and that's probably also something that you're going through here in the reading, right? But the threes, I like the threes, even the Three of Swords. Capricorn is talking about consumption. It's also talking about energy. It's talking about effort and making things come into form. Okay, and what I'm saying is this is a flow of energy because there's something that is very fertile about this. You can produce more out of this energy, right? And it's like multiplicity as well with the threes and the Three of Pentacles. So maybe you need to open up communications about work with people that you might, be around, that might be in your atmosphere, that might be like in your vicinity, right? Because the threes talk about vicinity too, and atmosphere, surroundings. Children as well might be something here for you guys. Maybe you're making something, building something with your children. Maybe you're showing your children how to work. You could be showing your children, valuable lessons, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and the threes are talking about things coming into form, and that's something that you can last, something that's sustainable, right? Capricorn wants real things that it can like hold on to, right? Because being the sign that consumes things, if you can hold on to something and constantly use that and consume it, that's wonderful. So that's what you guys are thinking about with your children. You're showing them like ways of like bringing things into form, and maybe your children are coming into form and you're starting to see that happen, and you're appreciating that, and you're putting some aggression into like teaching them things that they need to know in life, right? As a mother, Venus, and this is Gemini energy. Mercury rules. Virgo could be somewhere for you guys, because Pisces is opposite Virgo. I need to hurry up, honey. So that's that. Let me flip over your oracle cards. Yeah. Now, in my pre-shuffle, cards just fell out for you guys. From the Chakoli Oracle deck, and I have one from the Runes deck. The Teresas, whatever that word is, this is talking about, It's talking about force. It's talking about, a level of strength that it's going to have to take and courage to get through something, right? Because this involves courage. He's got to get through it. It's believing that you can get through the battle. You know what I mean? If you can believe that you can get through the battle, that's part of it. Half the battle is getting through it. Is that what they say? What is that? What is that phrase? Somebody please tell me what that is. Half something something, half the struggle, the battle is half the struggle, or something like that. Anyway, so this is saying that you're getting through a battle, you're getting through something that you're struggling through. There's going to take a level of effort and a level of stamina from you to actually get through it. But it's, it's like slaying the dragon, and the dragon lives within you, honey. You know what I mean, right? Thank you. Okay, so yeah, be tough, get through it. Fight. My sun is in my 12th house, so it's talking to you too. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull the cards from the Romance Angels Oracle deck. Honeymoon, and enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. That could be what this is, right? You know what I mean? And this could be something that already happened, and this is saying that there's something that you're meant to learn from this, right? Something that you're meant to get through. It's showing you a level of strength, spiritual strength. Honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Even if you're not going on like a honeymoon, right? This could just be like enjoying spending time, with yourself, or it could be enjoying spending time with other people or someone that's very significant for you, okay? So that's very opposite energy, very much like you, Pisces, right? Okay, you did, but you got good. That's good. So that's probably what it's saying. Maybe there was a separation, and now the honeymoon is the reconciliation. But the reconciliation doesn't have to be the exact same thing that it was before. And that's what we're talking about. Because the fives are talking about commitments, but maybe you're not able to commit yourself to this thing, right, that you desired before. It's a different way of committing to it. You have to re-understand something, right? There's something else for you to learn, and there's something that's going to be revealed to you through this understood loss. And I say understood because that's how you are seeing it right now. It may not be a loss when you realize what these two cups have inside of them later. Okay, so some of you feel like you've gotten yourself into a sticky situation that you're trying to figure out how to get out of. You know what I mean? Right? This is talking about going places that you don't belong. This is talking about, getting caught, in a spot. You know what I mean? It is 24, so it's talking about, making choices that are going to get you somewhere and that are going to be, it's also kind of like holding yourself accountable as well. You know what I mean? She went in there on her own. She took the risk of going in there. Now she has to deal with the consequences of what that risk provokes. Also, you got the card that represents compassion here as well. So this is Venus, right, being in Pisces. Okay? And Mercury as well, being, in Tarot, being a 6. You got the 6 of Wands here, expansions of the heart through compassionate ways of, achieving balance with yourself and with other people, right? A network of balance, a network of pleasure, a network of love. How are you going to live? A network of love. Look at those roses, right? Maybe someone is going to show you compassion, in this sticky situation that you might be getting yourself into. That's for some of you guys. Let me read what this means for you, the 24, okay? Let me see. Because I want you guys to really get like the actual, because these cards are newer to me. Okay, right? Sticky situation, strategy. That's what the card represents. It says, yes, this looks bad, but don't panic. Keep your wits about you and calmly assess the situation. What skills do you have that can be helpful here? Cleverness, stealth, speed. What tools or weapons are at your disposal? Distraction, negotiation, the element of surprise. Carefully strategize the best way to proceed. Once you've escaped this predicament, look back at how it developed and plan ahead for next time. Having a good game plan increases your success immensely. Okay? Okay, let me read this last card for y'all, and then we're gonna get out of here. Get out of here. Innocence. A child's innocence is precious. That's that Mercury energy, right? And parents hope that the roughness of the adult world doesn't intrude too soon. But innocence isn't just part of childhood. Approaching the world from an innocent point of view means you assume the best will happen rather than the worst. We all start out innocent. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Cynicism doesn't protect you. It just hardens your heart. Stay soft and vulnerable. Believe in the inevitable life-sustaining good. If you have a decision to make it from a place of trust, which is truth, which is balance, which is justice, which is Libra, which is Saturn, being exalted in Libra. Negativity isn't cool, except to other negative people. I'm going to leave y'all with that, booze. I love you, Pisces. Enjoy. Follow me on Instagram, Providence Tarot, at NYC Kendrick, at NYC, at Kendrick NYC, sorry. The tongue pop, that's my food account. And yes, like, share, subscribe, donate to the channel. The information is in the subscription box. Come and get a reading from me at Shanti Bookshop and Crystal Gallery. I'll be doing love readings for each sign for my mid-month readings. I'm going to try to get through those. They won't be as long as these. And maybe I'll do a special for love readings this month for the Libra full moon to celebrate that. And Venus in Pisces for sure. I love you guys. Bye.